Guest stars are the thing that started Skylanders. Yes, Spyro does count as a guest star technically, even though the game is called Spyro's Adventure. But we have more than just Spyro. Cinder from Spyro also makes an appearance in Skylanders, and some other ones are Bowser and Donkey Kong. I've always found that weird that two of the most recognizable characters in video games are in Skylanders. That's pretty cool. And we also had Crash and Cortex. So as you can see, Skylanders had a good amount of guest stars, but I want more. I think there are some characters in gaming that actually could have been in Skylanders, so let's get right into it. So my first pick for a Skylander I think could have been a guest star is Sly Cooper. I think that he actually could have worked in Superchargers. Like, just imagine Sly and Superchargers in the Cooper van. That would have been amazing. But also, I think that Sly could actually fit in with the Skylanders. By himself, he's actually pretty Skylanders-like. First of all, his cane, swing, boom. That's an easy main attack. I think his Soul Gem could be like Blastermine, sort of. I mean, he's a thief after all, so he should be able to pick locks, so he can just walk up to the lock puzzles and solve them immediately. Also, because again, he's a thief, I think that he could have a move somewhat similar to Chomp Chest, like a gold finder ability. Maybe like certain treasures that other Skylanders can't find, but Sly can find them because he's able to search places. I think a Tail Whip could also be a good second attack, and you can make some cool combos with his Tail Whip and cane attack. His element that he fit perfectly into is the dark element, obviously. I think he'd be a perfect dark element. And if another Skylanders game ever comes out, maybe Sly could be a part of it. And that might actually help Sly get a new game finally, which would be pretty cool. Next guest star is Ratchet. Also, don't worry, not all the guest stars I'm picking here are part of PlayStation All-Stars roster. Now, I don't think Clank could be with Ratchet, but maybe Clank could be like a magic item of some sorts. I think his moveset is pretty self-explanatory. He has a gun and he shoots it with it. I mean, it doesn't get any more simple than that. And maybe instead of Clank being a magic item, he could have an attack where Clank jumps out of his backpack or something and does some damage. That would be pretty cool, I think. I don't really know where Ratchet would come into the series. I think for the guest stars, Supercharger is probably the best game for any of the guest stars to be introduced in. So Ratchet could have an air vehicle, I guess, and his element is obviously the tech element. Alright, since Spyro was originally a collectathon game, why not have another collectathon guest star in Banjo from BanjoKazooie? I think much how like T-Rex eventually gets a woodpecker for his Soul Gem, Banjo could get Kazooie to fly around with him and maybe get some extra armor. I think that sounds like an awesome Soul Gem. Or that Kazooie could just be a part of every one of Banjo's attacks, kind of like jumping out of his backpack. Whenever Banjo jumps, Kazooie flies out. And his main attack, that's easy. He just punches his enemies. And if you want to take some inspiration from Smash, his second attack could be a slam on the ground attack. Now his third attack, it kind of gets a little messed up. His third attack could be where he rips out Kazooie from his backpack and just kind of swings him around. It'd be funny, but it's kind of messed up if you think about it. I think that's a pretty solid moveset for Banjo, and his element, obviously, is the life element. Now for Sega's mascot. Sonic the Hedgehog now is a guy I want to see in Skylanders. So Sonic I think would actually be pretty funny if he was in Superchargers, but he doesn't have a vehicle. He just runs, and I think that fits perfectly and would be kind of funny as he doesn't need a vehicle, he just runs around the racetracks. And if he actually does need a vehicle, Sonic already has a bunch of vehicles, so you can just choose from one of them. I think that his moveset should be speed based. Wow, how creative, right? But what I mean by this is like his punch attacks could be like speed punches, but he should have like a speed meter. Let me give you an example. You know how Guild Grunt has a water meter, and once it's gone you have to wait? I think Sonic should have a speed meter where when it's full, his attacks you can do are way faster. He definitely should also have like a Flame Singer like move, but instead he could have like a blue blur that hurts enemies. Now Sonic's element though is kind of weird, as I think it should be the light element. I mean, that's really the only one I can think of that fits the most. I mean, I guess I could also see him as a magic element, but I think light would fit the most, as like he has those rings that he can use, and maybe that like let me shoot out light, something like that. So we have now a guest star from Nintendo, Xbox, and PlayStation, and Sega. But what about the PC gamers? Well, here we go, it's Hollow Knight. And even though Hollow Knight is from a 2D platformer game, I still think he could be an amazing Dark Skylander. Also, I think his figure in 3D would be pretty cool. His main attack obviously is a sword attack, and secondary attack probably revolves around his sword as well. His third attack I think could be like some sort of light dash. I don't know, his moveset isn't really that big from his original game, but Activision can figure out something. Hollow Knight is probably the most out of left field pick, but I really think that it could work. I think he could be a good Dark Skylander. I think that's like the only element he could fit in. Maybe Undead, since Sly is already Dark. Maybe he could be Undead or Dark. Those elements, I think, fits with his whole character. So yeah, those are some other gaming characters that I think could work as guest stars in the Skylanders series. Tell me some guest stars that you think of being Skylanders games, and tell me what you think their elements and maybe some of their movesets would be. You guys have enjoyed this video, and thank you guys for watching.